You want to hire a sales manager, a salesman, a vice sales manager, a project manager, a vice project manager.
Do you still don't collect down payments?
It's like, no, I'm not doing it. Write a review, I don't care. It's not gonna hurt me.
Can you give advice to a startup roofer?
Start with the snowball and you roll it. It's a slow roll and eventually it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. As long as you pay attention and you keep rolling this ball, it will continue to get bigger.
So it seems like to me that you're burnt out from roofing.
Oh, I've seen on YouTube that the ice and water shield goes under the drip edge or over the drip edge. $5 million in real estate. I mean, $20 million in companies. I've already fought, I've already bled, I've already sweated.
If you would lose everything today, would you start a roofing company?
No, absolutely not. I'd start a YouTube channel. That's what I would do.
Last time we visited, you promised me you're gonna make videos.
Yes.
Resume. I checked your channel this morning because I'm subscribed. I did not see one single video.
I know, man.
What the heck? How many likes and comments this video, this new interview has to get for you to start uploading vids again?
0. I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah, I was just talking to my wife. I was like, man, I gotta do it again.
Let's get some motivation, guys. If
it.
this video will get 1,000 likes, or I don't know, like 500, like any number, give it a like if you want this guy to start making videos. Why is it so hard for you?
You know, I don't know. I was on a roll. I was doing it, you know, and I love the feedback. And then it was just like, it almost became a job. And then between building Paramount and the other companies, and it just became like, I was sick of carrying my phone and then like trying to edit it and having the wind blow in it. So then I got like a camera to do it. And then I have all this footage, but I just never went and edited it. And then after about a month or two, you're just like, oh, fuck it, you know, like.
It's like going to the gym. The longer the break, the harder it is to restart.
That's exactly what it was.
It's exactly what it is.
So now when I take out my phone to record, I'm like, all right, what am I going to talk about, you know? And then it's just like, and I keep going, you know?
Wow. So guys, comment below if you remember old Eric Reno videos. What were your favorite? I hear this feedback all the time. People start watching you, they switch to me, and I like healthy competition. Competition for attention, you call it. Yeah. Create good content. There's nothing better than that. Out of all people I know, this is the guy who needs to create more content. Absolutely respect what you've done. Let's dive down to what are you up today. So last year you have announced that we have announced that you're going to be a speaker at our conference. I want you to tell the audience why you didn't come, why you didn't make it.
Last year was we had the commercial signing for a property, and it had to be signed within that week.
Is it this property?
No, this one was already done. This is an apartment building. So
how many properties do you have now?
I have. So I have office buildings, suites. I have 12 houses, 2 apartment buildings, my office that I work out of. We have Dynasty, which is this industrial building. I think that's about it.
And you have all of that with the roofing money.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That is the beauty, and that's what I really want to like move my channel into, is how to, like, it's not about Lambos and Gucci bags and stuff like that. Like how to create assets with roofing money. Like this all started with me carrying a brute bucket full of shingles and dumping it into a garbage can, to learning how to prep, to shingling, to subcontracting, to creating Paramount. And Paramount created everything else.
How many years did it take you to build this portfolio?
So Paramount was started in 2013. That's when I was still a sub. It's 2021, and now we are where we are.
8 years, guys. Think about it. 8 years, what, like 20 properties?
Yeah, 20 properties. I mean, it's probably $5 million in real estate. I mean, $20 million in companies. And I still have one truck. That's my work truck. That's the only vehicle I have. My wife drives a Denali, and that's it, man.
This is the message Roofing Insights really proud to deliver to the world. It's not about Lambos. It's not about show off. It's not about none of that. This is the nest, changing family tree, changing future of your kids. Absolutely love it, man. Well done. I want to take a quick break and personally invite you to Roofing Process Conference. Eric Reno going to be there. I'm going to be there. So will a lot of other game changers. Jen Silver, Martin Pettigrew. So many people in this business who are changing the game in 2021. We don't allow loudmouth on the stage. People who we bring to teach and share their experience are the most humble, the most disciplined business owners. You will miss out if you miss this event. I don't believe in secrets in business. I don't believe that there's anything you can do to quadruple your business, but it's little things one at a time that you can improve in your process, sales, marketing, and everything else you have to do right in your business. Roofing Process Conference offers that. Conference is taking place in beautiful Orlando, Florida, the best place to be in the winter. Eric and myself cannot wait to see you there. Let's go back to the interview. So in how many businesses today you're involved total? So this is your brother's business.
4.
4 total. Name them.
So Paramount Dynasty, my real estate umbrella, which is broken down into other companies, but it's just the umbrella. And then we have a new venture that we're trying to get commercial grow.
Are you a real estate agent as well?
No, I took my real estate test just because I wanted to learn it years ago. But no, I have a bunch of buddies that are real estate. I've done it enough times. I've done so many closings and stuff that my mentors were from the real estate background, so that's how I learned it and got into it.
How was the roofing season in 2021?
We are busier than ever, and it's bittersweet because the business is there, but I feel like it's never been harder to please people. It's never been harder to deal with customers. It's never been harder to. It's just been tough. Luckily for us, we don't have employee issues. We have the same core group. My guys are awesome. We don't have turnover. I keep my, but man, it's just getting to be
What
tough.
do you think changed? Why people are getting so difficult?
I don't know. What do you think? Is it YouTube? Is it, the fact that they can search anything and they're out there watching you with drones and making sure I've seen on YouTube that the ice and water shield goes under the drip edge or over the drip edge or, this or that. The cap's supposed to be ran from east to west, and it's just
I'm the problem.
Yeah, right. No, they're just they're all professionals. And then I think the way the dynamic of the world is with all the tension in the world that, people are just unhappy and they're just looking for something to bitch about. I don't know,
Too many Karens.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it is, And the younger generation, as they buy houses and bigger houses and we're working on them, it seems like they're even the toughest, It's we blah, 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 it's just dude, we just tore off 60 square. 12 pitch. Your gutters are fine. Your bushes are fine. There's a rut in the driveway the grass from the equipter. It's a score, but it's no. I want you to pay $500. I want to take $500 off your price so that we can fix the grass.
How do you deal with people like that?
You do the best you can. When I was coming up, I was okay, sure, okay. Now I'm just I'm an animal. It's no, I'm not doing it. Write a review. I don't care. It's not going to hurt me. I don't. That's kind of the mentality I have to have. I have to be strong with these people because if not, they'll just roll you over.
So I think get a lot of negative reviews when you act that way?
Never. No, I've never gotten one. Usually if somebody texts me and shows me something, if it's legitimate, sure. If we break your Japanese maple, I'm going to call Wiegand's or I'm going to call a local nursery. I'm going to replace it. I have no problems. If it's negligence, I have no problem. But if you're going to sit and nitpick, I have a bag of a dozen nails when we just tore off 60 square and just complain about it. It's just come on, man.
Last time I talked to you, you didn't have a CRM. Do you have a CRM now?
Yes.
What do you use?
Job Progress. So we started with Job Nimbus, but it wasn't.
I like Job Progress better?
Yeah, it wasn't calibrated to do what we needed it to.
Sure. Do you like it? Did it change your business?
Yeah, it changed my business, yeah. I can be here and I can see everything. I can do everything. We didn't add it to QuickBooks. We didn't cross them. Sure. But so did you do that when you did yours? Did you cross yours into QuickBooks?
No, I don't like them to talk to each other. It's better for me. Financing here.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I was just wondering from...
Sure. Give advice to someone out there who is still working every day in the business and don't want to sign up for CRM.
Yeah, it's probably worth it. I denied it for a long time. I was okay, we got this. But as you start to grow and you start to step away from, all of the hats of the business, you need something to control and run it. Plus just keeping up and follow up and keeping everybody on the same page. It's vital in today's market, I think.
Do you still don't collect down payments?
I still don't collect down payments, yes.
Sign a contract, nothing, not a dollar?
Not a dollar, not unless it's special order. So if it's a special order skylight, special order shingles, which you really can't get right now anyways.
I recently did a poll for our community, even talking about it got me a lot of hate, and I'm telling you guys, it can be done. It's not easy, but it can be done. You will have market advantage, I think. because you have to be confident. You have to do a lot of things right. Like for some reason, roofers wants to get paid up front. They don't even think.
Honestly, in the end, what's the difference, right? If I'm doing a $20,000 job and I collect $5,000 as a deposit, you're still not getting the other $15,000 if the customer's not happy. So what's $5,000 versus 15? To me, it's irrelevant.
But you have to do a lot of things right. People are afraid not to get paid at all because the biggest argument is people are crazy. They don't want to pay.
Yeah.
And you have to please them. Well, you have the same problem. You have to please people.
Right. But what's the difference if somebody gives you $2,000 versus no money? $2,000 isn't going to make or break your company. So what does it matter? Right.
Oh, it'll break a lot of companies too.
Well, I guess, but if your finance is right and you're out to get the job, and I can not take $2,000 up front and still get the job for a higher amount of money because people are confident, then my margins are up, everything's going to be increased.
Do you use suppliers, credit lines with the suppliers?
Just 30 days. I get my 2% prompt pay, so I always pay on time since the day I started.
If you would start a roofing business today, your first 5 moves, what do you do?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's tough.
Let's say you would move to Minneapolis. You have to relocate. What do you do? First 5 moves.
First 5 moves. I would name brand and then start, on your feet. You'd have to start knocking doors, putting out yard signs. You're going to have to get creative with content. I
love how he's brain thinking. Like, not many people start thinking, get creative with content. Why do you say that? Get creative with content?
Because you got to be different, especially if you're new. How do you get market share from some of the fish? If you come to my land and you're new, how do you get market share with me? The only way you can do that is by exposure. So you don't have to take all my jobs. You only have to take a couple of them.
What else? What's the next thing?
You're going to have to find people. So you're going to have your work cut out for you there. Incentivize people. Have some money in your pocket so that you can pay them. And really, I think you can grind it out. It can be done. There's going to be, in the next 10 years, there's a whole revolution of different companies that do what they do.
If you would lose everything today, would you start a roofing company?
No, absolutely not.
I'd
start a YouTube channel. That's what I would do.
Why is that? Are you serious, or you would not start? You burned out?
No, I'm not burned out. I just feel like I'm at the point where, in my own mind, I've done everything I set out to do. I set out to clean the air in the roofing industry in my local area. I set out to dominate my local market. I set out to create an example and set an example for people that don't think it's possible to build. And I feel like I've done that in this arena. I've never set out to do 10 million in roofing. I never set out to do 40 million. I set out to do 5, 6. We're at 6.
Why is that? Like, I'm the same way, and so many people don't understand it. And I really always meant it. I said, like, I don't want. Maybe early on I was thinking about building big, but then when I saw what you can do with a 4 or 5 million, I never understood the drive even.
Right.
Like, what is it for you? Why you don't want to? Why you say you don't set up to be 10 million?
Because I just, I guess I've never done 10 million, right? So I can't speak, because this is like this. I just feel in my own perspective that I can really control quality. I can really set out to be the image that I want to be. And I can make surgeon money by doing 5 or 6 million a year. Why do I want to do 10 million a year and double the liability, double the resources, double the people? And then the profit margin kind of continues to go down. There's got to be a seesaw of like volume and revenue versus net in the end.
And for you, it's 5?
For me, it's 5. We did 6 this year. We did more this year than we've ever done. I am going to start building more into commercial to maybe have 2, but I don't know, man. I don't have that much time left, and I'm on to the next thing.
How much profit a roofing business can generate in Michigan? Every market is different. Like we have markets like Alabama, like low paying. Like we have also markets like New York, Chicago is very competitive.
Yeah.
If someone wants to make $1 million in business, in profit, like what are the recipe? Like how many people they need? Like what's doable, I guess, perfect scenario, like in what this market can bear. If I want to move here and I want to make $1 million a year, give me some numbers.
Well, I think my recipe is very different from most, so I can only speak on myself. I'm a grinder, I'm a hustler, I'm a worker. I will still get up and go through somebody's attic. I will still get on the roof and nail with the guys. I'm not afraid to work. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. So what I've done is I've generated $6 million out of 1,000 square foot storefront with 3 trucks, 2 salesmen, including myself, and 3 crews. So I think that what happens these days is everything's for show and the highlights. You want to rent a big building, you want to buy 15 trucks so that you can get a drone video, put it on your Facebook highlights and look sweet. And then since you're lazy, and this again, my perspective, you want to hire a sales manager, a salesman, a vice sales manager, a project manager, a vice project manager, and you want all these people driving around and you're going to pay them all salaries and percentages, right, to keep them because you just don't feel like doing your own work. That's how I feel about it. I came up from actually installing, so my perspective's different. But I've always been 5 to 10 years, and I'm out. Like that, I already knew that was the case.
That was your exit strategy?
Right. So it's like I'm going to work my balls off until I'm 38, 39, and then on to the next thing.
Love it.
While building other businesses.
Do you recommend borrowing money, and would you agree that it takes money to make money? Such a powerful, such a popular belief these days.
So,
like in the roofing particular, do you have to borrow money to be successful in roofing?
I've never borrowed money in roofing. I don't think so. I mean, you can do repairs for 90% profit and work until you get there. It's just about the clear mind and focus. So many people are clouded by, again, like social media and trying to keep up with everybody and whose car is nicest and how do you wrap your cars and how many vehicles do you have and what's your trailer look like. I mean, that it's like literally tarnishing and polluting people's minds and drives. You're driving to do that instead of actually building something successful.
For our startup young audience, for someone who's just about to get in a roofing business, what are your top 1, 2 secrets? Everybody wants to hear the secret. I don't think there's secrets, but what would you tell someone who's...
I would tell somebody there is no silver bullet. It's about hard work and grind. I look at it like making a snowman. You start with the snowball and you roll it. It's a slow roll and eventually it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. As long as you pay attention and you keep rolling the ball, it will continue to get bigger. To me, it's all about financials and ethics. Everybody wants to build roofing crews instead of having an office manager and an accountant and a CPA and a bookkeeper. Like those are always the last things that get put into businesses when really they should be the first, right? Of course you have to make the money.
I love that you said that.
I mean, it's really about the back office and the foundation of the business to keep the structure afloat. That's what I would focus on. If I can go back and do it again, if I didn't have my mentors and they forced their accountant to come to my house, my office in my house, and do all the books for me and get me set up with a trust and a will and life insurance and get my 401k together, I don't know where I would be. I'd be lost. But now it's so drained into me that that's what I tell people. It's like focus on, the actual structure of the company, not so much pounding the nails.
Would you agree that installation is only 20% of this business?
I would agree. If everybody got that message, they would build their company so much faster. And no matter whether it's roofing or anything, everybody wants to start with the hands and the grind and leave invoicing and taxes for later. When really invoicing and taxes should be what you're focused on.
And then you never stop advertising.
Right.
The 20% is advertising. I mean,
Yeah.
new jobs have to keep on. Do you experience labor and material shortage this year?
Certainty, we're select shingle masters. What we do is install certainty shingles as far as the shingle world goes. So we've been able to keep up with they stopped production there's 13 Landmark Pro options. They produced 6 of them this year. We didn't have any trouble getting anything.
What about labor?
We have our core team. It was hard getting new people, but we really didn't slow down. We kept what we needed.
What do you think about price increases for shingles? Does it help you? Does it hurt you? How many price increases you got on certainty and shingles?
I think we are on 3 this year or 4 this year. It doesn't matter to me. It's just rolled over. It's added to the cost.
No pushback from consumer.
We've had the best year we've had as far as on volume and revenue. So I don't think so. There's always going to be people that don't adjust their prices, but you got to adjust the prices accordingly. I think the volume that we do and the pricing we get, even as an increase, we're still not paying what people are paying pre-increase that don't do the volume that we do. So I don't think it's 5%, right? So of shingles, what are they? 94, they were 72.
How do you bid the jobs? What's your process? Like, do you have 5 steps, 10 steps, presentation? How long does it take you? Guide me. I called you, you came to my house. What do you do next?
Yeah, so I usually come to your house prepared, folder, roof schematic in it, and I'm ready to go. Quick roof inspection, quick attic inspection if they want me to go inside. 20, 25 minute sit down, and then I leave everything with them and follow up like an animal.
Love it. How many times you usually follow up?
I would say until they say stop. I mean, maybe 6 to 8 times and we'll call it good, but you know, we'll do text to phone call to email, and it's just like, just tell me what it is, you know? And I tell my, the girls that do the follow-ups is just get the objection. Let me know what the objection is. Is it only $250? Is it because I didn't talk about putting bath fans coming out the roof? Like, what is the objection, right? If we're too expensive, then it's dead, done deal, no problem. I understand, but if it's...
Do you usually more expensive than others?
Yeah, I think so.
Highest bid?
I don't think we're the highest bid. I think we're competitive in our market, but we're definitely not going to be the cheapest guy you call. I mean, with who we market with, the companies like in our market space.
Speaking of competition, who is your competition? Do you have a lot of chucks and trucks? Is it bigger players? Is it similar to yours?
I think it's really made especially in my market, it's really made a shift to supporting local companies. So like as I drive around my area, there's probably 3 of us that I see commonly. And then you'll see somebody from like out of town, or you'll see something you didn't recognize. But I think everything's really in each area is becoming a little bit more tight grip to support local businesses, make sure your families are fed. I think it's, at least in my area, that's how it seems like. I'm sure bigger markets like Chicago, it's probably a little bit more cutthroat than what we do. But
how are insurance companies in this market? What do you see from State Farm's Allstate? A lot of denials, not a lot of denials. Have it changed? Did it get worse? Did it get better? The same?
We didn't really have a good storm this year. Last year we had an awesome storm. It was the best time for me to take footage, and I knew it. So we don't usually get like egg-sized hail in Michigan. Usually it's like marbles. But we did, and it was over a huge spread area. And it was in the beginning of COVID, so they weren't sending adjusters out. They just had us write up an estimate and send pictures, which is fantastic. Or they would do the video estimate with us, and I'd walk around and I'd show them everything that was wrong, and they were just signing checks. This year, we haven't had any significant storm. We had a small tornado near us. We had a little bit of hail not too far from us, but it was very tight storms. But as far as companies go, it's funny because yesterday on, I think it was Level the Playing Field or something, somebody asked about Liberty Mutual. So I was looking at the comments and it was like terrible, horrible, they don't approve anything. In the Michigan market, that's top 3. Like if you want to know who to go with, I'm saying Citizens, Frankenmuth, or Liberty. Like those are going to be our 3. Like that's what I'm going to. Yeah. So in other markets, like they're terrible. I've met State Farm guys that write up anything. I've met State Farm guys that deny everything. I think they lack such consistency across the entire industry that it's really a problem. I mean, why not have the same standard? No matter if you get me as a salesman or any of my guys, you should have the same experience, right? When you go to McDonald's, you should have the same experience. Why is it not like that with insurance companies? Why are they good here but not good here? And this adjuster approves and this adjuster denies.
So many people are wondering that.
It'll
be like 2 houses
just
next to each other. State Farm, denied, approved.
Yeah.
2 neighbors what happened?
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I know over the years you advertise a lot, spot on online image. So many contractors don't want to do it. It's the same old saying, like my jobs comes from word of mouth.
Yeah.
Can you explain the importance of advertising and what did it do for your business?
Yeah, so I think much like your business, we were products of Angie's List. Angie's List really catapulted my company from like 0 to at least 1.5. That was really huge for us. Now I'm not sure that anything like that exists outside of creative content. But I think all the old dogs will kind of, they're working themselves out of the game because they're not advertising.
Do you still get leads from your YouTube channel?
Yeah, you get leads from my YouTube channel. I still get leads from Angie's List. I still get leads from a lot of places, but I don't have to put as much effort into it anymore.
Would you say that marketing gets cheaper, like over time? The more you do, it becomes cheaper and easier?
I think if you brand yourself properly and you have good reviews, then yes, because even if we turned off all avenues, the website, everything, we just left the phone number on, I still feel I could feed my team by not doing anything. But we do this to keep it consistent and creative content. And we did a small video for Facebook and said, "Don't have a nightmare of a roof for Halloween." And it was like, lightning and hitting the roof and kind of like creepy but stupid, But it keeps us moving. People like it, they see it. Then the next time the storm is like, "Oh, remember?" Mind. Yeah, exactly.
Biggest lesson you have learned this year?
I'm not sure about that one, man. I'm trying to think of
the last book you read. Something happened, aha moment. 2021 kind of one of those years where we back into the grind. We kind of settled with all the COVID and stuff. I know I learned a lot of lessons myself.
Yeah, I think I've really realized that I'm towards the tail end of this the roofing business owner hat. I'm really understanding that it's time to do something more or something different or take more time to explore. I just, when I first started, I'll never forget this. When I first started, I seen my boss, or the owner of the company, not my boss, just so frustrated. And he's 55 years old or 60 years old, and just, I got to get home and blah, blah. I'm late to my niece's birthday party. And I'm just like, man, I just never
I don't want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy, man. So it's like, I'm getting towards, I'm only 36, so I'm not that close, But I just feel like this year I've really realized that, it's time to get on to the next adventure.
It's funny you mentioned that you wanted to retire by 40. Like when I was in my 30s, I wanted to retire by 40. I'm 38 now. Mm-hmm. And I had that goal. It's like the same thing. Like when I sold my roofing business, I have that relief. Yeah. Like I feel accomplished. I feel like I've done something, but I don't have that liability. I'm proud of what I did. Like Absolutely. The company's still in business, the best feeling in the world. Yeah. But like I'm ready for the next thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing feeling. It is amazing. It's so satisfying.
Because you built the legacy that feeds so many people, and then you get to pass it on, and you still get to continue to watch it grow.
It's definitely how do you say it? Young people's game.
Young people's game. Yeah.
Something like that.
Absolutely.
It's not for.
And it's cool too, like people like us see the fact that like real leaders create other leaders. We don't hold our secrets. We don't hold other people down. We don't smother our employees. Like, don't tell them how much the job costs, or don't tell them how much we sold for square. It's like, I don't give a shit, like they could figure it out. They know what it is. It's better to bring them up and then watch them succeed, there's a couple guys that used to sub for me that have their own companies now, and I'll still help them, like whatever you need, man. There's enough work out there for all of us.
How many times you hit the gym now?
Pretty much every morning. So at least 5 days a week.
How important?
The gym is my house.
How important it is?
It's very important.
Why? So many people say and argue, it's like, no, I work too hard. Like I'm a roofer or this and this. And
it's the sense of like by the time not you personally, you probably get up earlier than me, but by the time most people wake up and are pouring their coffee, I've already challenged my mind. I've already conquered myself. I've already tired myself out. I've already ran out of breath. I've already gotten back up. I've already fought. I've already bled. I've already sweated. And it's like, now it's time to go on to my day. So I love morning workouts because I've already pushed myself before I even start work. I've already broken myself. So you can't break me. You can't push me. I've already done it.
Right? Love it. And I'm going to add to that. That's the great mentality. I have the same mentality. I hit CrossFit as early as I can. Sometimes it's 5 class or 6 in the morning. Yeah. And when you do the hardest thing in the morning, the hardest thing for the day, that's like today I'm in Michigan and I just did a workout. I actually did a personal record. And it's awesome. Like you're traveling, you have every excuse in the book not to do it. Right. Yeah. And the gym today was 20 minutes away. So I have to drive 20 minutes to the gym, work out, come back, and then get in here by 8:39. But I started with a personal record. I mean, do you guys know how you feel when you won by 6 a.m.? Like you won. You actually accomplished something at 6 a.m. and you lifted the heaviest weight you've ever lifted in your life. You're ready to, this is going to be the best interview I've ever recorded in my life.
Yeah, I think it's vital, especially for business owners and people that want to push yourself. I've already pushed it. Like you've already done it today. You've already hit a record today, so the rest of the day is a bonus, right? And it doesn't even have to be the biggest and baddest and the toughest. You can do just cardio. You can just push yourself. It
could be anything.
There's so many avenues that,
You can do running, you can do burpees, whatever.
Right.
Describe your work-life balance these days.
So I usually work from like 10 to 11 to 4, and then 5 days a week. Monday, we always do team meetings. I'm always at the team meetings on Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Everybody from my company's there. We go through last week, this week, and then schedule 2 weeks ahead. So that's important. But besides that, yeah, that's pretty much, I try to stick to a small.
You happy with your work-life balance?
I'm happy with my work-life balance, yes. I don't miss anything at home. I don't really ever miss dinner. I get to hunt every night. So
Hunt every night?
well, in this
What are we hunting?
hunting,
Yeah, you said you.
yeah. So this is hunting season now.
Okay, you hunt every night.
Well, not. I mean, when the wind's right, when
Yeah.
it's right. But yes, yeah. I'm lucky to have a really good friend that has property not too far from me. He lets me hunt there, so it's only about 20 minutes from my house to my tree stand, which is nice. But that's just a hobby that I like to do, but only during this time of the year. You know,
What are you hunting? Like,
whitetail, you know, deer.
so it seems like to me that you're burnt out from roofing. Do you have an exit strategy? Like, what is your exit strategy? You want to sell it? You want to like?
You know, I don't know. I hate using the word like burnt out because I could keep going. I'm just bored, right?
That's the way to
Like,
describe it.
yeah,
I
like
can feel it.
you know, it's like I've sold it. Like even like you know, we have such great customers and such a great community. But even when I sell like condos for $1 million or you know 7 digits,
It doesn't give that.
it's not.
drive
Yeah, I don't have like, yeah, man, we just did it. Like here, like when
I
we're
had
crushing these contracts, it's like hell yeah, you know. We got this company or we got this company, and it's like it's that sensation and that accomplishment all over again, you know. So I feel like everybody's focused on the win, but it's the process. It's getting there, you know. It's the climb.
Guys, I'm gonna explain that too. Like, you know, we have a directory now. We have director and we have roofing insights. And sometimes I'll do cool interview. Or with director, we connect about 200 contractors with homeowners per month now. So I'm essentially a new angels list, if you will.
Yes.
And we're not making money yet, but we're making connection. And when homeowner sends us quotes, like sometimes they'll do like 3-4 quotes, and we'll tell them, we think this is the better quote, here's why, or this is a better contractor, and they go and sign them, and then they email us like, oh man, the contractor did amazing. Like, you make no money, but
Yeah.
that feeling of that reading that email, you help the homeowner
Yeah.
to choose a shingle, choose a contractor, the process. Like, I know director will make me, you know, maybe a billionaire one day,
Yeah.
but it's the process together. And
Yeah.
I'm so with you. Like, I was that guy who would go, you know, sign $100,000 job and has no feeling about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like I'm happy to do it and I'm happy to serve, but it doesn't feel in here the same as it
You
did.
have to follow your heart.
Right. Right.
Love it.
And I think you should also just to recap on what you said, like you're investing time into something that doesn't make money that eventually like it's so far down the road. I mean, it could be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but you're so focused on that rather than instant income, instant gratification. It's long-term gratification and freedom is what we fight for, right?
And
That's how Roofing Insights was built, right?
Exactly.
You flew here. I didn't pay you anything the first time I met you.
You're not paying me now.
Right, I'm still not paying you now.
Yeah.
Right, you flew here on your own dime. You set this up. You're paying, you know, your
It
cameraman.
started as a hobby, but it's a long-term
Right.
vision.
But you had the vision, and you were willing to invest the money and fight the fight to finally get there.
Exactly.
And I think that's where people they're and even people that watch our videos, they're looking for the shortcut. There is no shortcut. It's the hard work. We'll help you. We'll give you tips to help, right?
Exactly.
But you have to be willing to invest the hard work and see the long-term strategy.
Absolutely. Favorite place to go on vacation?
Well, I've been to Hawaii. That was fantastic. So I think that's probably the nicest place I've been was Maui. So that was pretty cool. I'm not a big guy for planes though, so it was a little bit tough. But
do you want to go? We're on a plane every week now. I love planes.
yeah, I know. I'm
Do
sure
you
you're numb to it.
do you see yourself moving south or like moving away from Michigan?
Yes. Yeah. I want to go to somewhere that has.
Do you have a place in mind?
Yeah, I love Florida. A lot of my family's moved to Florida. So I think between
We're in Florida.
Orlando area.
Oh, it's
So
my favorite city too.
yeah, I went last year. It was nice because, quick story, because of COVID, all my kids were on virtual learning. So we left last Christmas and didn't come back till March 1st. So we just Airbnb'd houses, me and my family, all the way down the Gulf Coast. So, I mean, we stayed at St. Pete's. We stayed at so many different places. It was so cool. So,
Can you give advice to a startup roofer, someone who's already installing or running a crew, and thinking about opening business. Don't have it yet, maybe sub, maybe installer, someone in the game, but who's not a business owner
Go for it, man. Go for it. You'll live, you'll learn, you'll take your bruises, just go for it. That's how I did it. I mean, being a subcontractor, you've already put yourself in the best position because you can advertise and do you're not dedicated to somebody, you're just a sub, right? You're just a sub, but that's your position. So when I first started, I would sell, I'd work all day, I'd go to McDonald's, I'd literally shower in the sink, get all cleaned up, change my clothes, and do appointments from like 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night. And then I'd have enough work to feed my guys for the week, and then I'd sub for 3 weeks, right? Because I'm slowly pushing the snowball. And then you have enough work to sub for 2 weeks and do your own work for 2 weeks, and eventually this keeps happening. But one tip is don't burn bridges, because in the wintertime or the off season or the middle of the summer is a slower time. You're gonna need to call on these people when you need work. And it's okay to, sub a little bit when you're building your company, but go for it, man. The longer you wait, I mean, every one of us that are in our position say, we wish we would have started earlier because we would have got here faster, right? I mean, there's nobody that says, oh, I wish I wouldn't have started for the next, 5 years from now. They always want to start in the beginning. So yeah, go, rock it out.
So true. Great advice. The last question is, can you give someone advice who already in the business and hit the wall? Like I see a lot of guys who hit that 1 million, 1.5, and they've been in business for 10 years and they just never ever can pass certain milestone. Usually somewhere between 1 and 3 million. How do you go to that 4 or 5, and what advice would you give them?
I think you have to look in your own market and analyze the guy that's doing what you want to do. I think there's a lot of your answers. Look at his website. How does he interact with? How do their text message set up an estimate with the company, and have somebody like
secret shopping.
Yeah. Are they texting you when they're on their way? What's the hidden keys that they're doing to capture market share? Because everybody's market's different, right? The tips that I give you may not work in Chicago. They may not work in Las Vegas. I don't know. But if you analyze your local competition, somebody that has a company that you want to be like, where it's good reviews, it's ethical. And a lot of these business owners will, if you call them, they'll probably, like I would talk to somebody even locally and be like, hey, I'm trying to get to, how did you do this? I don't have a problem. It doesn't matter to me. But I think modeling companies in your area and stop looking outside your area for quick answers. I think that would be what I would think to be the key. Because they're doing something that you're not, right?
Absolutely.
Somebody is doing something you're not. Somebody's getting rich off popcorn. Just because you make popcorn, you can't make 5 million. Somebody is. So how are they making it?
Reverse engineers.
Yeah, how are they making it? Somebody's making it.
Love it. Can I get you a commitment? I know this video is going to get a lot of comments. Not for a long time, for a couple days after we air it, can you promise me you'll come back and answer questions that people have for you in comments?
100%.
All right, guys. Comment below any questions. Give it a like for Eric. If you have any questions for him, comment below. He will come back to this video and answer it, because I know you have more questions than I did today. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you,
inspiration.
man. Appreciate it, man.